The lads are just warming up for the high bar final. This is your speciality, Sam. I bet you wish you were out there, mate. I bet you really do. But 3 medals yourself at the Europeans on high bar. What are you expecting to see from the new code here, and how may it have changed a little bit?
Well, it's going to be really exciting, Matt. I think the code's changed in that they have really upgraded some of the release and catch moves. So hopefully you're going to see more of a variety. The gymnasts are only able to perform 2 release and catch moves from the same family. So in the past, someone might specialize in a Kachev element or a Kovac where you do the double somersault. Now you have to show all of those release skills. And again, they've upgraded the triple back. I think the top qualifier, Robert Trevorgel from Lithuania, has added in a triple back to this new code. So that'll be very exciting to watch.
Oh, fantastic. Well, he's starting us off, so you won't have long to wait to find out, Sam. That's the good news. Just tightening the hand guards there, bits of leather that strap round, and we were having a conversation the other day just about your handmade hand guards that you had a real connection with from your coach who used to make them for you.
Yeah, my coach Sergey used to make them by hand to fit my hands, so yeah, really cool. When I put them on, I knew it was time to go to work and swing around the bar, but yeah, I mean, this is why I'm here, Matt, to watch the high bar. It's my favourite event.
You've had a long wait. It's been a long championship, but finally it's the individual apparatus final, the high bar. So here we go, the final of the competition. Some might say that we've saved the best till last. Let's find out what happens. We'll head over to Craig Heap and Christine Still, and I'll come and join you. Hang on tight. It's the high bar final.
Thank you, Matt. Yes, this is the piece, the real crowd pleaser. The climax of the gymnastic finals for the men, where they fly through the air. First gymnast qualified in top spot. Will certainly, no doubt, want to put in a performance of a lifetime to pick up a European title. Just waiting for the judges. Gymnasts get the green light. Quite a tall gymnast from Lithuania. Won't need his coach to get up onto the apparatus. So 8 skills. The difficulty and the flying needs to be packed together. So first up to get this European final underway, Robert Torgal.
Oh, that was original to start. Good squat dislocation with full turn. You have to finish in handstand. He did that again, and now into the 2 Kachev combinations. You have to have close bar works. He did his Stalder there. Pirouettes, just the hop full. Here we go, triple back, very good landing. I mean, with only 8 skills needed now, it's packed full, isn't it?
Absolutely rammed with difficulty, and yes, there was the triple back, high up into the arena, squeezing in 3 somersaults, and he managed to land it.
Yeah, no 0.1 bonus like he got in qualification, but it is a very complex routine, this, because he opts for an unusual start, the 1.5 twist, but this is where the judges will pick up the deductions. The squat in between the hands into a full turn. So he got it into the handstand, he does a half turn now, and then he changes the body shape and he starts the Kachevs. As Sam was saying there, gymnasts are only allowed to do 2 releases from the same family, so that's the Kachev he did in a straight and the straddle position. So he only released the bar twice, but then this huge dismount. 1, 2, 3 somersaults. Got to open out, spot the landing. Just that little hop forward.
His timing out was perfect, but it was almost like his legs didn't quite have enough strength to resist the forces coming down.
Well, I think Sam was talking about that, the height you're coming from now and you're landing. I mean, the bar's 8'6" in old money, and it goes well above that, and you're falling and rotating. I mean, you're taking a lot of force through your legs, and he's a big lad.
Well, he's 30 years old. He was a European champion back in 2020. Took a silver medal at last year's European Championships. He's got one of the highest difficulties in the final, behind the next gymnast. Yeah, what can the highest qualifier score here? Won't be a bonus for his landing, so it's going to be close. Again, there's going to be tenths in the medals. It seemed to affect the routines too much, the reduction from 10 to 8 moves. 14.3. It's a big score.
It is a very big score.
He's upped his difficulty, I think.
No, same, 5-4, 5-4. Obviously those handstands I thought were really good from the squat dislocate.
Well, Noah Seifert is next, the second highest qualifier, 26 years old. He took a 6th place in the all-round final. How close to 14 can he get here?
Well, he actually led the qualification and had a disappointing rest of the competition. It's very exciting on this piece of apparatus.
Oh no, that's the wrong way.
The thing is, you have to hit the handstand, otherwise you're going to come out with a massive deduction. And it's such a shame because in the qualification, he was brilliant. And since then, he's fallen apart. Such a shame. I mean, that is perfection.
Yeah.
It's unusual to see them not swing into some sort of exit, isn't it?
Normally you would just change your hands, but I think his head's not been in the game since he topped qualification a good few days ago. So that's a full mark gone. And he won't get the skill unless he repeats it again. With the half turn, straight into the full twisting Kovacs. Now that's good. Difficulty, he'll wind up again. Watch this, changing shape. Beautiful flight and height. Change the body shape into the Steinemann swing. Full of originality. This gymnast has got huge potential. And another triple back. Oh, a little hop there. He was so close. Not the championships he would have wanted, but I've been really impressed with this young man.
Yeah, absolutely. The frustration, that first initial part of that routine. Gosh, he's so angry with himself. And when you look at the quality of his work, Chris, and you knew what was to come, you can totally understand why.
Oh, absolutely. He got back on, and absolutely gave us a fantastic exhibition of high bar work. And that triple back, I've never seen a better one, because they sort of tend to plonk up and down a bit, don't they? Whereas that one really rotated well. I was really very impressed with that high bar work.
Yes, I'm going to say a real understanding of how the bar works, and I like this routine because it has got lots of original work in it.
I just wonder if by topping qualification on day one, he just sort of then put so much pressure on himself.
And then also he probably thought he didn't deliver in the all-round competition, and it was his opportunity to take a medal here again, putting extra pressure on himself. He doesn't look a happy chappy at all.
Well, what a shame. He tried to claw his way back in the all-round competition after falling, but couldn't achieve much better than a 6th place finish. And it's game over as far as the high bar medal is concerned too for him.
One of the things I think that going down to 8 moves has done, it's raised the execution scores a bit. So instead of having 10 moves to deduct from, you've only got 8 to deduct from, and actually they're a bit higher, these execution scores.
Well, 7.666 for execution, 13.066 for Seifert's high bar. Joe Platter is next. Now, he could surprise here. He's got a 5-6 difficulty, and if he hits, he's his 5th highest qualifier, but he could well be in with a shout.
Quickly into the one-arm swings. Oh, that was a little bit late, wasn't it? Winds up.
Oh, dear.
Lovely straight body and full twist, but he didn't get the second hand on till he was almost under the bar. And you really have got to catch in the top half of the move.
I do think this gymnastic is very exciting, full of power, but a little bit erratic. The first skill,
wild, yeah.
He did the squat dislocate with a half turn, and his legs were a bit untidy, and you could see then in the action he was no chance of hanging on from that.
Well, he's up again, and he'll have a go at another release and catch.
Oh, same thing again. The thing is, when you know you haven't been credited it, you feel you'll have another go.
Yeah. I think the thing is, it just looks like it's coming down a little bit too quick. He's a little bit close to the bar. Look, you can probably see from here, it's that hand that's coming round.
Well, in fact,
and he almost headbutts the bar.
That was very close, wasn't it?
Is he going to carry on, or will he do it again? No, he's carrying on.
It's just the straight this time, the straight catch-up. Here's the dismount. Double twisting, double straight.
What a shame. It was the case of all or nothing for Joel Platter. He did get a bronze medal 2 years ago at the Euros. Back to the gym.
Well, this is probably the downside of an 8-skill routine. The gymnasts really have to put all the skills in a shorter space of time. That would probably be the only negative I would probably think to it. I mean, I don't know your thoughts, guys.
Well, yes, and I think that you're going to go for the 8 most difficult moves you can do, as opposed to pad it out a little bit with a few in the middle.
And just give yourself that breathing space.
Give a breather,
sort
yes.
of get your bearings a bit. And certainly with something like high bar, it's very disorientating, and you're sort of, the world's spinning around and you're upside down and you're releasing and catching it. You know, if it's such an intense experience anyway.
Well, on the high bars, very like any other piece, there's no momentarily pause in the routine. Even floor on the tumbles, you'll land, step into the corner, maybe on the pommel horse if you do a single leg up to handstand. But that's about it. I mean, once you're swinging around that bar, you're only getting off at the dismount if you do it correctly.
And this is the first competition these guys have had on this new ruling, and people will be speculating how to get the best scores, and it'll take the 4 years for it to settle down, for everybody to realise how to play this code.
Yeah.
How to play the code points.
But Joel Platter then, the 3rd gymnast up, 27 years old, from Spain. He scores 10.166. So Robert Svorogal of Lithuania still leads on 14.3. Noah Seifert in second with 13.066, and Joel Platter 10.166 currently. Well, Marius Georgiou of Cyprus is next. He was the European champion on this piece back in 2022. He's in the Olympic final as well, and he was the 4th highest qualifier for this final, but as we've seen, scores are lower than expected here.
A very exciting gymnast, not opted for the all-around competition. That was very nice. And the half turn straight into the handstand. He'll wind up now. There's a big release coming. Watch this. Changing shape. Kicks over. Full twist in the straight position. That's how you do it, and he's going again. Beautiful extension in the tuck. In-bar work the gymnasts have to do for one of the requirements. Into the forward long swing. Lovely full turn around the one arm. A really varied routine. He's a dismount to go. Winds up, kicks in. Oh, and he nearly stopped that dismount. But that was a fantastic routine.
That is going to be up there, that's for sure. Is it good enough to go ahead of Robert Svorogal of Lithuania? 14.3 is that golden score at the moment. We'll have to go some.
Well, difficulty-wise, they're very comparable. And having watched the previous two gymnasts fall, he showed plenty of mental strength to get on then and go right through.
Great extension on these releases, Christine.
Yeah, you can really see how he drives the feet across the bar rather than up and down. And then in the tuck position. Nice and tidy, actually, with the legs together.
That's the routine for me at the moment. I'm not sure if the judges will agree, but I think the construction, the variety, the originality.
Well, he was the all-around champion last year. We didn't see him in the all-round final. Well, it's great to see him here on high bar. It's a tough score to beat that, though, 14.3 on the Lithuanian. Score is in, it's 13.866. He's into second. He likes it.
I liked it more.
Yeah, you see an execution score of 8.5 there. We were rarely seeing execution in the eights last cycle.
Well, that's what Torgal seems to have above the rest of them. His execution 8-9.
Well, there'll be a warm-up for the second half of the finalists. And then this will wrap up the European Championships. Andreas Toba getting himself set and ready. He'll be the second gymnast to go from Germany in this second half of the competition. Adam Masil's made this final as well.
He had a 4-6. I don't think Azil will challenge with that, but interesting, Toba and Mansard of France stuck the landings in qualification.
Yeah, Mansard is very handy. There he is, just 18 years old. He's made a real name for himself at these championships. 14-1 scored in the all-round competition.
Well, the German Toba is the only one with the difficulty to match Svogal, but he's got to get through the routine.
Yeah, well, Mansard was the last to warm up, so Mezerosh will be the first gymnast up in this second half of this high bar European final. So Christopher Mezerosh chalking up, took a bronze in the all-round a few days ago. Was also in that mixed team final and they finished 10th. But he made the high bar final 2 years ago at the Europeans. He's back again. And he's been performing a 5-2 difficulty. If he can achieve his qualification score, Mezerosh should be in the top 3. But as we've seen, full of trials and tribulations, this high bar final. Brace yourself. Here we go.
Well, very impressive all-around gymnast. And that was an impressive start as well. Here's the big skill, the straight Kovacs. The somersault over the bar to regrasp. And with the full twist, but in the tuck. Just a little bent arms working out, but here comes the Kachev section. Lovely straight Kachev over the bar. Another one straddled. So he's shown good variety to different types of releases. Good hop, full, showing his different grips, which you have to show. Close bar work as well. Here comes this dismount. Double twisting, double straight, just a little hop. But he is a very steady gymnast, isn't he? He knows his work well.
Yes, confident. Yeah, doesn't look... no doubt in his routine.
Well, he's just perfect build for the all-around, isn't he?
But to be fair, he didn't do the crazy releases, did he?
Well, I think he did. I mean, two Kovacs, two Kachevs. I mean, he had a 5-2 on difficulty. Yeah, I think there's a bit of potential. Put my teeth back in. But if anything, probably it was a little close on some of those Kovacs. But we were talking, they haven't really excelled Hungary in the all-around since Zoltan Supala a long, long time ago. But this gymnast is very exciting.
And you're right, Craig, he is perfect physique and seems mentally attuned to be an all-round gymnast. Like you say, not the highs or the lows. He looks a very steady competitor.
And he's only 23.
23.
Yeah.
Well, we've watched him we've seen him since quite young on the scene, haven't we?
I think that what's happened over the past few years is the rest of his all-round competition has significantly improved. I think we first saw him making floor finals and maybe thinking, oh, he's a floor specialist. But look at him now, yeah. They're good. I just think it won't be enough, I don't think, to go into first.
No, I don't think so either.
Well, it's been a while since Hungary have been on the medal podium. He's sitting there at the moment. 13.533 for Christopher Mezeros. Last time Hungary were up there was back in 2018. There's a huge roar from the home crowd for Andreas Toba, 34-year-old German who got a silver at the European Championships back in 2021.
Lovely turn, the full twist, the squat half into the handstand, straight into the full twisting Kovac. So he'll get a combination, bonus, change of shape, straight Kachev, and again, straddle Kachev. Lovely hop 1.5 turn. It's a dismount to go. Winds up, kicks in, double twisting, double back.
Oh!
He stopped the landing.
That's
Wow.
a bonus. That is definitely a bonus, and you can see the emotion, what it means for him. He's absolutely nailed it. It was huge. High on the difficulty, great on the execution with the bonus.
Absolutely tremendous. We've watched him for so many years.
Fall off. Yeah, that's fall off, and it just goes to prove if you keep going, one day it'll come.
Well, the golden score at the moment is 14.3. 13.866 for silver, 13.533 for bronze.
I think
gotta be up there.
The execution, I don't think will be up at 8.9. It won't be the top on the execution, I don't think. I think that will just hold him back a little bit.
Yeah, a couple of the release and recaptures were a little bit close.
Scrappy
weren't they?
in the legs
Yes.
as well when he caught, but I mean, talk about entertaining the crowd.
Oh, the crowd don't care about that.
No, they don't. Brilliant routine.
Oh, Fantastic stuff, and wonderful to see the energy change now. So much dejection in the first half of the final, and now with celebrations. Still 2 gymnasts left to go in this final. But what do the top 3 look like now?
13.533. Mezerosh currently holding on to the bronze.
Oh, there's a screaming. Oh, 14 is the score. He's gone into second. Well, that is a fantastic score from Andreas Toba. He's back in that silver medal winning position that he was in back in 2021. But for how long? 2 gymnasts left to go. One is Adam Asil and the other is Anthony Monsar. Well, the golden boy from the all-round, Adam Asil, is next to go. He got a bronze medal on high bar back in 2021. Gold on rings also at these championships. He's having a good time here.
Well, I would say it's been his championships in many respects. That was a lovely hop over. Ooh, he was a little bit sideways, but he certainly went for the handstand position. And again, here comes the releases, the straight Kachev and the straddle Kachev. Winds up for the big dismount. Just that little pace, but he's been so consistent this championships, hasn't he? Yeah. Right on top of his game.
Well, he knows that he won't challenge for a medal with that routine, but you're right. All-around champion. That's what he came here for. Brilliant joint on the rings.
Yeah, and away safely from the high bar.
Yeah.
What a brilliant high bar final, and there's still one more to go, and the last gymnast could well challenge. But great form, Chris, in parts of that routine.
Oh, yeah. He's not your usual high bar worker, is long and flighty. He's a typical rings worker working the high bar, isn't he?
Yeah.
But he does it really well.
I think he's probably one of the only gymnasts in this final that needs lifting up by his coach.
Yeah. But he maximises everything he does. That's what I like.
He does.
Yes, yeah. His good pieces are really, really good, and then he fights and works at the pieces that he doesn't find so easy.
Well, that's why he's such a good all-rounder, isn't it? That's the...
He's as strong as your weakest link.
Yeah.
And his weakest link is still good enough to get him in a European final. That's the top 8.
Yep.
So, yeah. But look at Toba. 34, did you say, Matt?
13.633. He's 4th for now, with one more to go. Yeah, 34, Toba.
But always good-humoured as well. In fact, there's great camaraderie amongst the gymnasts.
So I think because it's a final round, they're like, we're off after this.
Well, Andreas Toba is guaranteed a medal from Germany. He's in 2nd place at the moment. Marius Georgiou, 13.866. But this young lad at 18 years old, Anthony Monsar of France, can challenge. He was junior European champion on this piece of apparatus last season, and he's the 3rd highest qualifier.
Well, expect some fireworks from this young man. That was nice, the full turn. Close to the handstand. Winds up now, first big release. Beautiful full stretch. Change of shape. Flies over the bar in the straight Kachev and the straddle Kachev. Lovely position there, the squat dislocate into the handstand, just dips the head in, adds a bit of original work. A dismount to go, winds up, kicks in, high, and sticks the landing, double twisting, double back to finish. He'll get a 0.1 bonus, Christine, and 13.766 in qualification. That was good.
And that bonus might well give him that bronze medal, I think. He swings beautifully.
Yeah, 5 on difficulty in qualification. So it might just be the difficulty that separates him from the top spot.
Been very, very impressed with this new generation of French gymnasts. This lovely work. So stylish. Technically so accurate.
Interesting, only 2 gymnasts out of 8 have actually stuck the dismount off the high bar. Currently in 3rd place, Georgiou of Cyprus with 13.866, who's looking slightly concerned there because he knows it was a good routine.
Looking pensive.
Another well-constructed routine from the young Frenchman.
I do think actually having the gymnasts sat together like this has added a little drama to the scores, rather than, you know, when you're chasing around the arena to find the picture of them to
They're
show.
all, yeah.
Yeah, this has been good.
Like a holding pen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. 13.966. The young Frenchman pips Georgiou to the bronze.
Well, what a final. The final of this championships, and it's been absolutely excellent.
Yeah, and I want to wish all the best to the Great Britain adult gymnastics team that are out there in Germany representing Great Britain, competing alongside these guys. Wish them the very best of luck. It just goes to prove that gymnastics is a sport for all ages. But I'm not joining your team, you can forget that. So, confirmation of the final event, the men's high bar.